The UFC 321 main event, Tom Aspinall vs Ciryl Gane, started off fantastic before ending in an anticlimactic dud. Ciryl Gane hit Aspinall with the double barrel eye poke, digging his knuckles straight into his opponent's skull, and thus the fight was called a no contest near the end of the first round. Aspinall was pissed at the crowd for booing at him in his post-fight octagon interview.
What's your feeling right now?
Guys, I just got fucking poked knuckle deep in the eyeball. What the why are you booing? What am I supposed to do about it? I didn't do the fucking poke. I can't see. This is bullshit. The fight was just getting going. Complete bullshit. I'm pissed off.
Dana White's initial reaction to the main event is as expected, calling it a shitty ending to a good fight.
All right, Dana, well, obviously not a way we want to see a main event end, any fight end. Give us your reaction to the eye poke and how it all went out.
I mean, I feel the way everybody feels. Great showing, shitty ending, you know? I think that after the Jones fight, a lot of people wrote Ciryl Gane off. He looked damn good tonight.
Yeah, what did you think about the fight on its way to the eye poke? What did you take from those 4 minutes?
Good. Looked like we were in for a few rounds and it was going to be a good fight.
It would seem obvious that a rematch is right on the cards. Would you like to just rebook these guys as soon as Tom is able to get back in there?
Yeah, total pain in the ass, but yes.
Dana White seemed to imply that Tom Aspinall quit because he was losing to Ciryl Gane. Dana said at the post-fight press conference that Ciryl had him bloodied up, and thus Tom didn't want to continue the fight.
I said earlier, because of the John Jones fight, I think everybody was sleeping on Ciryl Gane and sort of wrote him off. And he's right behind me. He's coming in next, so you guys can ask him how he felt. But I feel like, you know, I'm sure in his camp, he was training like an animal for this fight, and it's unfortunate that it ended the way that it did. And yes, I think that there probably will be a lot more interest in the rematch after they saw, you know, I mean, he had Tom bloodied up, and you know, Tom didn't want to continue in the fight, so the rematch is very interesting.
Ciryl tried to tell him or go toward him, and Jason Erzog said don't talk to the opponent at that point. So I guess they were trying to figure out to one another.
You can't, just like, you know, I can't make people fight, right? If I want to put together a fight, I can't make people fight, and you definitely can't make somebody continue if they feel they've been injured. Only Tom knows what happened. You know, could he see? Couldn't he see? Could he continue? Only he knows that.
Here are some of the possible reasons as to why Dana might be turning against Tom Aspinall. First reason, Tom Aspinall said one of the things that Dana White hates to hear the most, that he would rather vacate his heavyweight title than fight his friend who's currently climbing the rankings in his division. Here is Dana White's reaction that says it all.
My friend and training partner has just got to the UFC. He just got his first
I saw.
win, and now he's in the top 10, which is like, to get your first win into, like, you just beat a guy in the top 10.
Oh, sick. Oh, nice.
So like, he's potentially like 2 or 3 wins away from like a title shot. So the thing is, if I'd never won a title, I'd never touched gold before, I would we would have to fight, because that's my dream.
Yeah.
But now I've done it, I would be like, I'll vacate it and he can have his time.
He's already said that the guy that's currently ranked number 10 is his friend, Ante Delija, and he would vacate the title if Delija got to a point where he was going to fight for the title. Firstly, what do you think about that?
You know what I think about that. Yes. Before you even ask me. I hate that. You know, many friends, relatives, name it, have all fought each other before. You know, it doesn't determine whether you are friends with somebody or you hate somebody. You're competing against them to see who the best is, but that's his decision. You know, these guys. You know, when you become a world champion and you know, if he defends the title and does whatever he does, to even think about vacating it because you don't want to compete against somebody is absolutely insane, but he's a grown man, that's up to him.
The second reason is that Tom Aspinall's father has stated recently in interviews that he wants his son to fight out the 3 fights left in his UFC contract and pursue boxing because that's where the money is. We all know how Dana hates when his fighters don't sign a new contract. He will stall them out for as long as possible before giving them their final fight, as he did to Francis Ngannou and Nate Diaz, for example, who both wanted to pursue boxing and fight out their contract. But nevertheless, Dana wants to book the rematch between Aspinall and Ciryl Gane as soon as possible.
Any potential timeline for that? Like maybe January, the kick off the Paraman card?
Yeah, I mean, they're both in shape, other than whatever's wrong with his eye. Both guys are not injured, so as soon as possible.
Alex Pereira wants to make the heavyweight division great again and calls out Jon Jones in a new Instagram post after seeing the main event end in a no contest. Jon Jones has changed his social media profile pictures to a duck with an eye patch and has accepted Alex Pereira's call out. He tweeted, quote, "Alex, I'd be down to bring the highest skill level to the White House. I appreciate the respect you showed. Let's dance." Chael Sonnen and Anthony Smith went off on Tom Aspinall on the post-fight show for refusing to fight after the eye poke. Let's start first with Chael, who says that he knows what it's like to quit in fights because he's done it before, and Chael says that he saw that tonight in Tom Aspinall.
Being poked in the eye is illegal, Brendan, but to fight with one eye is very common. The opponent's trying to hit your eye, he's trying to bust up and make your nose bleed. So that part of it does have question for guys like Anthony and I. We're trying to be polite, we're trying to show grace, but in all fairness, if you're the heavyweight champion of the world, you got to fight with one eye at times. When the opportunity came to take a little bit of a break, you can use that and you can even game that system to catch your wind. But there was something about the way that the story was being told, the way that it was being held on the eye and never removed. I mean, don't forget, this cloth that he had in his eye contained an ice cube. This wasn't some kind of a magic cloth that was going to cure a cornea or something that was wrong with your eye or even take swelling away. It contained an ice cube, and it was just being held on there oddly. Then there was conversations that were taking place. There was a story that was being told, and I've checked out of fights before. I know what it looks like, and I knew that he was done.
Anthony Smith rips into Tom Aspinall for not continuing the fight. Smith says he's been in that situation before, but he says if you truly wanted to fight, you'd find a way to push through it.
Well, don't be mad at me. You had a job to do, and you, for whatever reason, you guys did whatever you did, and you didn't do your job. I'm not saying it's Tom's fault, and I'm not gonna, pretend that I know how bad it is or isn't. I think Chael made a poetic point that you have to be used to or willing to fight with one eye. I did it in Singapore. Everyone talks about it all the time, where the ladies waving stuff in front of my eyes. I can't see it, so what do? I just walk away and say, let's fight. You just you either want to or you don't. And my fight wasn't for a world title. I didn't have Ciryl Gane in front of me throwing bombs. But the second that there was an issue, I knew that I wanted to continue, so I know what to say. You never say I can't see if you want to continue to fight. So when they ask the question, you just nod your head and you just walk away. Like, you find a way to get away from the doctor. If you want to fight, you can fight.
Daniel Cormier says that he saw Tom Aspinall backstage 20 minutes after the fight and claims that Tom could still not open his eye.
I saw Tom Aspinall. His right eye is covered in a bandage because he cannot open it still. We're 20 minutes past the fight ending. And what's crazy about that is his other eye was the one where his hand went knuckle deep. The right side was scraped down more. The left side was the one that went knuckle deep and really would have been hard to deal with if not for the pain he was seeing on the other side. Tom was very upset that people were booing. And then people saw the replay and were like, wait a minute, maybe we should be booing the other guy. Then they booed Ciryl Gane. But Ciryl was emotional. He wanted this fight. This fight was everything that these guys had asked for. Hopefully we can reschedule this and get these dudes locked in the octagon again to determine who's the baddest man on the planet.
Ciryl Gane's initial reaction backstage is disappointment for the fans and for himself. Gane says it was a beautiful fight before it ended.
Can I get your immediate reaction, please?
I don't know exactly, just disappointed. We put a lot of energy, like I say, and I'm just sorry because at first for me, but also for the people, for Aspinall, for everybody. This is the law of this sport. Sometimes this happening. I remember this happening also for myself. It's like that. It's like that.
You've been in there. You felt him a little bit. Like what did you learn?
It was beautiful. It was a beautiful fight. This is exactly what I expected from Tom. Exactly what I expected for myself also. We did very well, I think. I'm gonna watch that. But yeah,